Good morning. Little late, only 52 minutes late this morning. That was by design. I just didn't want to get out of bed. I'm going to get more into it because it's actually kind of a gut punch yesterday. So I'll go into that. We will talk hobby. What is up? Normally I don't wear hoodies on Thursday, but it's Hoodie Thursday. Wisconsin, it's game day. I'm going to the game tonight. Badgers and Hawkeyes. So we'll be fun meeting up with some former coworkers before the game, and then we're going to the game together. So I haven't been out of the house. I mean, outside of my adventures on Monday, my trips to the post office and Costco and the grocery store. I haven't had much traditional human contact since like Christmas. And that's kind of part of the reason why I just didn't want to get out of bed this morning. And I'll go into that. But I do want to share the main topic today. I randomly, so when I need a break from baseball cards, what do? I read about baseball cards. So the other night, I had caught up on shipping, just needed a break, and I'm like, I'm gonna read an old baseball card magazine. I've got a whole stack of them that I bought from an auction, and I haven't really. I bought them for the replica cards because I'll get these cut out and list on eBay eventually. But I also like the content. I like reading what's inside. So I want to go in and share some letters to the editor because there's a theme in this particular issue with Bo Jackson. Zach will love this, in a White Sox uniform on the cover from May 1992. And a lot of what's being spoken in the letters to the editor are the same complaints we're hearing today, 30 years later. We look back and we have these rose-colored glasses that, in 1992 the hobby was so great. We were kids. It was all about the hobby. Wrong. It was not about the hobby. It was about making money, and we're going to talk about that. So what's up, Zach? Jenny's with us. Interesting title. I see no changes, and you're exactly right. There's a lot of changes, and there's no changes. So yeah, Ken is here. See, when I go on late, Ken can watch. Herman is homesick. That is a bummer. I hate to hear that. Get well. You sound weird when I'm not playing you at 1.75 speed. Hope you feel better, Herman. Does your wife know you only read it for the articles? Had a fever since last. Oh, that sucks. So the reason why, now I'm going to take it down a notch and kind of be kind of a bummer here. Good morning. Cold as hell in Illinois. Cold as hell here. And it's just been, I just laid in bed because it's been tough. With the last few days has been, like Jeremy says, cold as hell. So like, I mean, I have to put on, my driveway's what, I don't know, 20 feet long, 30 feet long. I have to put a coat, gloves, in a hat, just to walk to the edge of the driveway and get the mail. And so like, I don't want to leave the house. We've got the whole COVID bull, SHIT. And it's all of a flurry. And then yesterday I get dealt a double blow. A friend of mine's dad passed away. He had been battling cancer. He actually, he gave me like basically my first like bulk collection when I was in my early 20s. He's like, and kind of going back to 1992, he was an adult in the early 90s. He got on the baseball card boom. He thought all of these boxes, if he kept them sealed, they would times 100 in 10, 20 years when his kids were going out, they were going to pay for college, and they didn't, and they were worth squat. And so in 2005, he's like, you can have it all. I don't want it. Sell it. Do whatever. There was some good stuff in it. There was a lot of junk from the early 90s, but he had some like vintage, like Willie Mays, and I wish I would have kept all that stuff. But I probably still have some of it. So he passed away, which is, that was like, and I had lost lost track, lost touch. He wasn't a social media person. He's back down in the Macomb area, so really hadn't. And it's one of those things where it's like, man, I wish at least once I would have been able to reconnect over the last 15 years, probably 12 years. So that was tough. And then I was dealt a really big blow. One of my former coworkers in radio, he was kind of my work dad. He passed away yesterday morning, and he was in sales at the radio station I worked for. Older guy, like dad age, and he was like, kind of took me. He taught me how to be professional. He tried. I didn't listen too well, but we always joked, and we kind of kept in touch over the years. We had actually worked together for quite a long time. We worked together our entire run in Macomb, which would have been 2003 to 2008, and then when our company sold the radio station, I went north. He went south because he was actually living in Quincy. So he went to work for a company down there, but then he came back and he started working in Monmouth Galesburg with us. And like he would drive up a couple 2-3 days a week. And so, was still able to keep in touch, and we talked, like once a year we would reconnect. Once I moved to Wisconsin, and I'm terrible with phone calls. I hate talking on the phone, and it sucks when things like this happen. It's like, I wish I would have picked up the phone. But I did get to talk to him not this past summer, but summer of 2020, like during COVID. He was a big Cubs fan. He always, to this day, to the day he passed away, he probably always got a kick out of teasing me about Duke. And I say that because we would always do a bracket, for, an office pool for the NCAA tournament. And it was, I don't know, 2003, 2004, 2005, somewhere in that range. And Duke they were Duke. They weren't great. They weren't like a contending national title team, but they were still like, I don't know, a 2 or a 3 seed maybe. And so Jeff was his name. He had Duke winning it all. And I was a little a-hole, and I laughed, and I'm like, forget that I said old people like Duke. So whenever I think about the tournament and Duke, I think of me calling Jeff old because he had Duke winning the championship. So all of that, just being stuck inside, all of this COVID crap, losing the same day, losing 2 people that I knew well and had good relationships with, passed away. So this morning I was up. I just didn't want to get out of bed. I scrolled Twitter and Facebook and email and eBay, and I just didn't want to get out of bed. Now that doesn't last. Like, I mean, I only can lay in bed scrolling on my phone for, an hour is really pushing it. So I got out. So here we are. So today it came on a good day because I'm going to get out of the house. I'm going to get to the sports bar. It's going to be, a normal day. And that's another thing, you look back, and if you're not selling cards, if you're not in the hobby on a full-time basis, you look from the outside and you're like, oh, what a dream. What a dream. I'd love to make money selling baseball cards, but it can be like, I have my wife and I have my dog, but it's cold as hell. And we're not only is it cold as hell, we're in a pandemic for like year 3. So it gets lonely, and we forget that there's life out there, and we just have to go out and live it. So I'm going to live life tonight. So I'm looking forward to getting out of the house, doing normal things, stepping away from baseball cards for a few hours, even though it is fun. Now, don't get me wrong. I love what I do. But yeah, there's it can get tedious, and, so all that stuff. So let's talk fun stuff. Let's go back to the 90s here. It's in the 30s in Texas. That's cold as hell in Texas. It's 8 degrees here. It's pretty windy though, so that wind chill's probably, I think we had like wind chill warnings, like 20 below or something. I don't know. I'm not going outside until I have to. Knew a guy here that hoarded cases of 90 and 91 score in his attic because of how well the 89 score did. Ooh, yeah, bummer. Oh, football. Okay. Yeah, still bummer. That's a bummer. Sorry to hear of your loss. Thank you. Must be why Census told me to say hi randomly yesterday. And ironically, Jenny, it was when you so Jenny randomly reached out to me in DM. And I was felt like, I'm like, oh, that was awful nice of Jenny to reach out. I was fine. I I had read about my friend's dad passing away, and it was a bummer. But I was okay. It didn't hit me like my coworkers passing. That hit me. And I didn't find out about that until like mid-afternoon yesterday. So your message actually came like I was pumped. I was cruising. I'm like, yeah, I'm humming along. I listed like 300 cards on eBay yesterday. I was doing great. And then I got the message that Jeff passed away. And that was like, that really made me pause. And then you hear all the COVID crap, and it's cold as shit. And it's like, and then all of that just piles on. And so I just needed a mental health morning this morning, and just needed to, sleep in. I probably could have used a shave. Maybe that would have made me feel a little better. I definitely need a haircut. So we'll see. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that. Of all the random player lots I've sold overnight, I sold a 6-card lot of Ruben Sierra. I love Ken's player lot sales. I did sell a Larry Bird. I only listed 5 player lots basketball. I sold a Larry Bird lot. No action on the other 4. I've got Kevin Garnett, Reggie Miller. Who else? I think 2 other players. I can't remember. Maybe that's why they're not selling. So yeah, it was just kind of, I want to see how it works. And I know, and I mean, this is how I operate eBay. It's like the more volume you list. I mean, I say this in every day I can, here's a random, let's just go. And I do this every once in a while because I think it's fun. And I don't know if anybody else thinks it's fun, but I think it's fun to see what's sold, like random stuff. Like, I mean, like I'm still surprised some of the items that sell. Like I listed a 1985 Topps record breaker, Nolan Ryan, for $1.50 shipped. It posted at like 5 p.m. yesterday, and it sold last night. 1996 Topps base card, Deion Sanders with the Giants, sold for $1.50. 1987 Flir League leaders, Kirby Puckett, sold for $1.50. Like junk wax, sorry, Zach, best wax, like is moving. I sold a Paul Goldschmidt Topps Archives, just a common 99 cents. And I probably take a small loss on that because I have to do the 53-cent shipping. It was but I mean, those are some of the things that are selling. I had a guy buy 2 Joey Bell, Albert Bell rookie. I sold that Sasha Banks card. I didn't even realize that. Now when I pulled it a week ago, the previous 2, and who knows, they could have been, sketchy non-sales, but their sales were like 172 and 200. So I had mine listed at like 175, no sales. I dropped it to 150. I had a couple watchers on it. So I'm like, I extended some offers for 100 and didn't have a taker. So last night I saw that there were 2 watchers, $95. Somebody bought it. So, hey, I already, with the Heritage, WWE Heritage, I probably made my money back on the blasters I bought just on selling the commons and some of the inserts. So that 95, that's kind of like just kind of gravy. So speaking of junk wax and in Albert Bell rookies, let's go back to 1992. Wishy 2, what's up? I sold a 93 Donruss Scott Fletcher to someone. Wow. That tops my Deion Sanders and Joey Bells. Ken, how do you sort your eBay listings by team or all by player since you do player lots? I'm doing by team, just had to expand baseball to box too. I had no idea Joey and Albert Bell were the same person. Yeah, that threw off a lot of people, much like recently Trent Grisham, who plays for the San Diego Padres. His early Bowman cards, his first Bowman, and his early Bowman cards is Trent Clark. He was Trent Clark, and then he changed his name, and I don't know the story behind it, but Trent Grisham and Trent Clark are the same person. So Trent Clark with the Brewers, and I think he may have some Brewers cards with Trent Grisham, but I do know all of his Padres cards are Trent Grisham. Dan's with us. Dan, you were up late today, tonight for Dan. If you're wondering why I'm saying that, Dan is in Korea. So let's go to, again, pulling out, the other night I pulled out this May 1992 Baseball Cards magazine with Bo Jackson on the cover. And I just, every once in a while, I like to read the letters to the editor. I'm running a room. I've got, today's going to be a sort day. I hope I'm still live because I think I hit the keyboard. Once I start getting too many piles, I have to sort. Okay, it looks like I'm still going. So we're reading from May 1992 Cards magazine, and what caught my eye was and they title the letters. It's titled "Inflation in Cards." Now, remember, 1992 is when Leaf is out, Upper Decks a couple years in. Action Packed is big. By the way, look at this. Look at this. Another person we lost recently, Madden, the Action Packed all Madden team cards, which I actually had some in my eBay store. The trophy cards sold, of course, the night that he had passed away. And though, just full disclosure, those were listed long before. Those were listed months ago. So the title is Inflation in Cards. Dear editor, after writing to the Leaf Company, or maybe because of it, and receiving no reply, I decided to solicit your input. My son is an avid collector of baseball cards, and as you know, there are fewer sets of cards available that kids can afford. This is 1992, folks, not 2022. Donruss has always been one of them, and though the price and quality has increased, the $1 a pack price is still within his means. He collected the entire 1992 set, always hoping to get an elite or legend card, but didn't. None of us did. His question is, why would a company produce a set of cards that the average collector can afford, yet include it in cards that are so rare and expensive that he can't ever really complete the set? My question is this: has the hobby gotten to the point where collectors just don't care what has to be paid as long as they get their cards? Or are the companies so greedy that they don't care who gets priced out as long as they sell cards? Marianne Wood, Seattle, Washington. Well, Marianne, guess what? Baseball cards are a business. They've always been a business. And yes, they don't care who's out. They just want to make sales, to put it bluntly. So I'm at 1992. Kids can't cards. It's the same. It can be put on repeat. Jenny says, does anyone have a recent Beckett from any All Sports they would part with for cost of shipping? I don't. I think the last I have one from a couple years ago, maybe. I received 2 more Z-Folio binders today, started putting Burleys in them. Once again, my shelving plan is to sort them last name alphabetically by sport, and then have a section when they are sorted alphabetically by team. Let's see. Is anyone else getting the spinning beach ball of death? I hope not. Maybe that's when I hit my keyboard. You mean bow lagging? Not really. Yeah, my Wi-Fi sucks. We all know that. So I found that letter to the editor interesting. Let's see. There is. Oh, and this, I think this was the best one that I read. And this one is titled, That Worked. I'm not used to watching live. So apparently that's the fix. When I start lagging, just hit refresh. The price is not right. This is a letter to the editor from May 1992, 30 years ago. I guess we're a couple months shy. It was probably written in January of 92. Dear Baseball Card Magazine, thanks so much for the article by Jim McLaughlin, The Price You Pay. If low-priced baseball card packs are dead, then so is the card, and this is all capitalized, collecting as opposed to investing. And that's in parentheses. I'm going to read that again. If low-priced baseball card packs are dead, then so is the card collecting as opposed to investing hobby. Let me give you a real example. This is from Greg in Birmingham. My 3 kids, all under 12, and I went to the local card shop for 1992 baseball cards. This worse than walking into a local car dealership. Our choice came down to a wax box of 1992 Donruss at $34.95. Imagine that. Oh, my connection's unstable. Or a 1992 Topps at $14.95. That's a hell of a. Can you imagine a Topps wax box for $15? Easy decision, Greg says. We took the Topps wax home to the dining room table. Everyone got 9 packs of cards and we opened them all. That's a lot of fun. I like that. What fun. There he had fun too. We even got 1 gold leaf, Doug Drabeck. 2 hours later, after playing Topps scratch and win cards and cheering each other on in the process, we still had some fun sorting and trading, and that's what it's all about. In conclusion, to reiterate Mr. McLaughlin's point about low-priced cards, we spent less money than going to the movies, had a lot of fun, and still have something to enjoy on the next rainy day. But then, we've been doing this since 1984. If low-priced cards go, then so do we, and that's a shame. Greg in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, Greg, I don't know if you're still with us, but if you can imagine what Topps boxes cost today, they did not rise with, they're not on the same wavelength as inflation in the last 30 years. They're quite a bit more. So that was, this comes from Jason in Amory, Mississippi. Dear Mr. Kiefer, he must be the editor. I have just finished reading Jim McLaughlin's article, so same one referenced in Greg's in the last letter that Greg wrote. And I have decided to write you. I am a 13-year-old collector who the 99-cent and 89-cent retail prices of 92 Donruss and Flir will affect greatly. I've bought a few packs of Donruss, and personally, I would rather pay more and get Leaf or Studio. I've seen pictures of Flir, and they look a lot like the pictures of Score I've seen. I haven't been a big Score buyer in the past, but at 55 cents retail, I'd take Score over Flir. Also, I'd take 91 Ultra over Flir's regular 92 product. In my opinion, Topps has produced its best set, design and quality-wise, in my collecting years. 92 Topps was pretty good. I'll buy Upper Deck this year, as usual, and I'd like to commend Classic on a great product. Remember Classic? Man, they ran the presses on those. Let's see. I thought there was one other. Okay, Larry in New Mexico. Right. Good. And again, these are all on the same page. A letter to the editor, Baseball Card Magazine, 1992. Hello, Baseball Card Magazine. I was really surprised at the differences in prices at different locations. The new cards, granted, are nice looking, but it doesn't warrant a price jump from 50 cents to 75 cents per pack. For instance, Flir was $2.50 per pack. Can you imagine paying $2.50 for a pack of 92 Flir? Donruss, $1.25. Score, 89 cents. Topps, 89 cents. And Upper Deck, ? Forget it. The local people seem to stick their own price on cards because they know the public wants them. Well, supply and demand. But gentlemen, there has to be a limit on the price range. Some of the younger generation will not be able to buy cards this year. Oh, thinking about the kids again. It'll hurt sales for the card companies, and the hobby will soon diminish. Just like a passing fad, 4 to 5 years tops. Collecting is not fun anymore. How many times have we heard that? How many times have you seen that written on Twitter? I personally have contacted a lot of companies and card dealers. I did what you said in the March 92 issue, and I got no response to my letters. If this hype continues, I, for one, will discontinue to feed the companies and make their pockets fatter. I've collected since the 1950s, and now it's time to stop and smell the roses. Larry in New Mexico. So those were 4 letters to the editor, all about pricing and how prices are out of control at 89 cents a pack $15, $35 a hobby box 30 years ago in 1992. What's the old saying? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Jenny says, I'm trying to find what the cost of a pack was in 92, but Google is just bringing results of what I can buy them for today. Oh, and then you just said how much? 50 cents, 89 cents. Yeah. I'll go to an ad. And so those were some of the readers. Let's see. I'm looking for, half of, I think any magazine is ads. So these are a lot of sets. That's O-Pee-Chee, trying to find. Okay, so from Howard Sports Collectibles in Lipsick, Ohio, a 1992 Flir Wax Box was $30, and I think there were 36 packs at that time. So that would make sense for like 89 cents a pack. 92 score was only $18 for a wax box. 92 tops. You could buy a 92 tops wax box for $18. And that goes with one of the other letters said $15. So yeah, 15 to $20 for a wax box of 92 tops. Heck, you can probably sell them for more today, which maybe $5. Now today you might get, and a year ago you could probably sell them for 50. I know 90 tops were selling for $50 a year ago. So I just wanted to share that. May 1992, Baseball Card Magazine. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Prices. We're always going to complain that prices are too high and kids are going to leave kids can't afford it. Everybody's going to leave. It's not fun. All that stuff. So that's what I had for today. I just wanted to share. I read that the other night. I'm like, oh, and then the Fanatic stuff came out, so kind of got pushed to the side. I'll probably be late, by the way, program note. I'll probably be late again tomorrow because it's a late game tonight. I think it's an 8 p.m. tip. So I will be home late. And I'm not used to being out late. So I'll probably sleep in because I'll be tired tomorrow morning. So might be 8 a.m. Saturday, no show. I'll be heading down to Rockford. Please cross your fingers, wish on a star that there's no weather because I don't want any more cancellations, weather, COVID, etc. So Rockford Card Show is this Saturday at the Rock Church on Harrison Avenue. So that'll be fun. I haven't been to a card show in almost 6 weeks, so I'm looking to get out and maybe buy some bulk. I reached out. Here's a quick one before I go. I reached out. There was something on Facebook Marketplace, really good deal, and probably still a good deal. It was binders. It was pretty close by. I'm gonna have to go to my messages. So, and I hate when people do this. And it's sold. So it was binders, and it was like 30 binders of mostly football cards. But there were like stars, and there were like some Jordan baseball cards, and it didn't look cherry picked. And he had them for like $400, and it came out to be like 12 or 13 bucks a binder. So I messaged him and I said, "Hey, I'm interested. Is this still available?" He replied like an hour later, "Yes, it's available." And right after that, he raised the price. It was $400, and he raised it to like $600. And so I didn't respond. It's been sold. So that my stubbornness, I just didn't respond. Like, come on, man. And I hate that because what happens is people underprice. Well, they may underprice. I don't know if that was under. I mean, $400 for what was in there, probably a good deal. But it's kind of right on. Like, it was going to take a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of dollar cards, a lot of $2 cards. Maybe there were going to be some, oh, look what I found. And I'm sure there is. There's always something that you don't realize it's a $10 or $20 card. But it would have taken a lot of work to, piece it out and sell, to get that $400 back and then make some money. So I wasn't too motivated to buy, and it's cold as shit. And I didn't want to, it's like 45 minutes away. I didn't want I didn't want to drive, even though I'm going to be driving down to Rockford Saturday. So I hate it when people change the price. It's like, I've got 3 messages. I'm going to raise the price on you. It's like, oh, sorry, no sale. Let's see. Are you selling in Rockford? Yes, I am. Yep. Downgraded to 2 tables for this show. I'm going to experiment with dollar boxes. Tomorrow, I think that's going to be my main focus. Today, it's shipping. I made a lot of sales last night and through the overnight. So going to do a lot of shipping. I've listed how many? Probably 750 cards this week in my eBay store. I'm comfortably over 10,000 now active listings because I got just over 10,000 and then I dropped because I sold. So I'm at 10,243. So I'm comfortably above 10,000 active listings. So take probably today and tomorrow off from listing, today for shipping, and then to build those dollar boxes because I want to focus this show, just kind of use it as an experiment. Drop down to 2 tables because I also want to see how high show I want to also go down from 3 tables to 2. Do dollar boxes, and I've got those slabs that I want to sell, value slabs basically. So we'll see how that goes. So I got to build those dollar boxes up. Is there a Casey's on the way to Rockford? I'm sure there are several. So between here and there, it's like all interstate. It's complete interstate. I'm not sure. There might be like the exit that I get off the interstate to go to the church, and it's only like a mile from the interstate. There might be a Casey's there. But I'll hit up Dunkin'. I'll hit up Dunkin' for my power breakfast sandwich, my hash browns, and my coffee, and I'll snack on that on the drive down. But yeah, there's a lot of the towns between here and there have Casey's, but again, it's interstate, so I don't really venture off. You're rocking it. Thank you. Hovering around the 1,500 mark. That's awesome because you just hit 1,000 like not long ago. So you're building yours up as well. That Sierra lot sold to someone in Waukesha. Okay, Waukesha is about an hour from here, Milwaukee area. Are you spending the weekend in Rockford? Nope. I'll drive down in the morning. Rockford's only an hour away. It's actually now I'm in bed and hungry. So the show now where it's at the location at the church is like on the south side. The first couple shows they held were on the north side, which was like 55 minutes to an hour. And now it's like another 15 minutes. So it's about an hour 10 probably door to door. So I take off here. What time will I leave? I'll leave here at about 6:30, probably 6:30. Starts at 9, 6, probably 7. Probably, yeah, 7. That gets me there a little after 8. Yeah, 6:30, because I'll stop at Dunkin'. It's been a while. Because I skipped the December show. So it's been 2 months since I've been to the Rockford show. So yeah, and then the show wraps up around 3, and usually by 3 it's pretty dead. Between 2 and 3, that's kind of when I start, depending on how many people are still left in the room, customer wise, I'll start packing up, and then I'm out the door by 3 just to get back. So, I'm usually home by 4:30. Let's see. Now I'm in bed and hungry. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for bearing with my tardiness this morning. I'll be tardy again tomorrow, so expect about 8 a.m. Central. So Dan, you're gonna have to stay up late. Ken, you don't have to worry about waking up early. So it's perfect for Ken. It's not perfect for George and Dan. So hope you had a great. Hope you have a great day. It's only 8:30. Have a great day, and talk tomorrow.